My people, you don't read though. As it stand right now, they say that the Asari Dokubo, you don't come outside, come send message, go give the people where they call bandit. You know, say those people enter Port Harcourt yesterday. Now this Asari Dokubo guys take them down, which is the video, you know, good. If we bring, I can show you for here. Waiting they give these people na knack they give them better knack. Now they give the almost 20 people fall down immediately for inside River State. My wonderful people, as that one they happen, come see Shetima will be the vice president. They tell go for metro for inside our blood or go they tell them say may they remove waiting that they call private security so that nobody go serve Nigerians if in boys they come to attack on Nigeria. So in the whether of Africa, you know, self have been a United Nation, even they talk this one because the news way there for this country is the scatter person head. So my people, now so it be things they really happen for this last time. They say terrorists don't come outside. Go to say they go buy the president will be Bola Ahmed Tinubu because for this last one. Now they get grand. We will play the videos one after the other. Now they watch. Before we will come back or continue. Stay tuned.
If Boko Haram come Port Harcourt, you know say my business not to kill them. I did Zamfara they killed. I did Plateau they killed. I did Niger they killed them. If them come Port Harcourt, my business not to kill them. This thing I'm telling you is raw. This one is raw. I'm not like those people who do this, that apologetic. I'm a Muslim. If you come fight me, I go kill you. If you come fight me because I be Muslim, I'll kill you. That one. No compromise. But I will not. Security and democratic stability. The conflict in Sudan has resulted in more than 40,000 dead and displaced over 12 million people. We welcome the G7's call for renewed diplomacy. However, excellent actors created the conflict must be held accountable. Similarly, right intentions in South Sudan requires continued engagement to ensure the full implementation of the revitalized peace agreement ahead of the 2026 elections. Excellencies, as we strengthen our partnership for a safer and more secure Africa, we must also confront the global governance deficit. Africa desires full representation in global decision-making structures. It is time for Africa to occupy permanent seats on the UN Security Council with all attendant privileges including the veto. Genuine text-based negotiations under the intergovernmental negotiations framework must now commence. It is our hope that EU member states will support Africa's long-standing and legitimate call for reform of the United Nations. Furthermore, Nigeria firmly believes that peace and security initiatives in Africa must be African-led and carried out through legitimate platforms. We stand resolutely against the use of all private military and security companies in African conflicts, as their presence often complicates regional efforts and undermines state sovereignty. As the world is witnessing a diminishing commitment to multilateralism, the EU remains a platform of partnership and collaboration on a continent-to-continent basis, anchored on mutual respect and shared aspirations. Nigeria remains firmly committed to advancing peace, security, and democratic governance across our continent. We are prepared more than ever to work with the European Union to build a more stable, just, and prosperous world. I thank you.
We are not there. We want to deal with EU on a pedestal of mutual interest, respect.
In terms of peace and security, how are you collaborating with the EU to tackle issues of terrorism?
Well, EU is a wonderful partner on the issue of combating illegal migration, terrorism, and banditry in the Sahelian zone. But mind you, There's an incestuous relationship between economy and ecology in the Sahelian zone. And we need kinetic and non-kinetic solutions to the challenges. And I believe EU is a continent that has engaged with Africa for over 500 years, understands our challenges, understands our problems, and collectively we are going to marshal the forces towards addressing those challenges.
Okay, thank you.
To an tashi kuwa ta da kwalasa, an ɗauki 'yan makaranta a Kebbi Cites, an ɗauki 'yan makaranta a Neja Cites. Nan gaba sojoji za mu ringa kama muna ɗaukowa muna kai su a daji muna da ɗauriya. Diba lambobin soja. Najeriya. Nan gaba za mu ɗauki gwamna. Za mu ɗauki shugaban ƙasa, za mu ɗauki sauransu. Ba ruwanmu da an kama kowa. Gwamnati ba ta yi mama maganin ku komi. Koma ma Allah ya maku maganin komi, ya share maku kukanku. Ƙato ba zai iya ba. An tashi, na gaishe ku mutanen social media. Ina maku barka da warhaka.
Meanwhile, armed bandits in Katsina State have made stunning allegations claiming the Nigerian government orchestrated their criminal activities only now decided to call for peace during a peace meeting between Batagwawa and Karachinchi communities held on Saturday. One of the bandits declared they have stopped attacks following government intervention. The bandit spokesperson stated in a now viral video, and I quote, "It was the government that wanted us to engage in banditry, but now it has called us and told us to stop." He alleged that despite 2 months of attempts to initiate peace talks, authorities only located them when they genuinely decided to engage. The armed group insisted that peaceful coexistence depends entirely on Nigerian leaders, stating, "If you want to cry, don't cry with us, the terrorists, but cry with your government, for they are the ones who made us do what we have been doing." I mean, this is really, really alarming, Rufai. The allegations raise serious questions about the relationship between criminal networks and state actors, echoing long-standing suspicions about complicity in Nigeria's worsening insecurity. Rufai, your thoughts, and also I'd like your thoughts on the two stories as well, just to put them all together before we take this real quickly.
See, Koji, in a country where bandits can pick up a mic and say this in a public space, when did they say this? What has been the reaction of the government to it? You see, that's why I said a lot of the problems our government can solve if we are ready. And this attempt to make it be about Christians and Muslims is never true. My Muslim brothers, my Christian brothers, we are all one, united. Our adversaries are those that are using insecurity to hurt all of us. Let's not fall to their propaganda. Christians, Muslims, can't you see they've started again? They've started using our heads to knock each other. Christians, Muslims, can't you see that they're not talking about the killings of all of us as Nigerians? They are talking about us against each other. Christians, Muslims, we need to be united. Just like we all prayed together and we stood united during NSAS. We serve one God, the living God. Do not allow these actors to pit Christians against Muslims. Our adversary is the insecurity. I'm happy that Reverend Ayab is speaking up against this. So, during the data, although because I'm not seeing the primary data that Beacon Security had, but doesn't this data even justify the allegations of genocide? Genocide, when you go back to Lepkin's definition of genocide, it talks about intent to clear out, cultural antecedents, physical assault and brutality. Over 100 churches. Doesn't it talk about it? And so when government was saying 81% reduction, but Beacon Security is saying there's been an increase. What Terrorism Index is saying Nigeria is now number 6 from the position of number 8 it was in 2023. Isn't it time for us to look inward? So government, this is at your doorstep. Terror bandits are now saying that you are the ones using them. And we've also seen allegations against government officials. We've also seen government officials do photo op with bandits. We've also had government officials being mentioned. Government, if you love this country, release the list of the terrorist financier that was released in Dubai.
All right.
And let justice and the killing end.
All right.
My people, they say the governor of Abia State don't seal APC house, so they say na Tinubu house for inside Abia State. We will play the video, may you watch before we come back and continue.
APC office sealed by Abia State government, Labour Party government. Wonders shall never cease. Wonders shall never cease.
This office was directed by Mr. President. This office is an office directed by Mr. President to open up in the entire Southeast. And this is one of them in Abia State. This office is not a campaign office. This office is meant to enlighten Abia, the Southeast, about the program, policies, and projects of Mr. President in the Southeast. We New Hope Partners. It's not a campaign office. It's an office to enlighten Abians and the entire Southeast about the policies and program and project of Mr. President. So sealing this office is like a political vendetta. It's like a political vendetta. We are calling on those who are responsible to unseal these premises because this office belongs to Mr. President. It is the office of Mr. President. It's like a liaison office of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, just to enlighten Abians, Southeast, about his program, policies, and projects in Abia State and the Southeast. And this office has been opened in all the places in the Southeast. This is the only place in Abia, it's only in Abia State that the office is.
Okay, my people, when I don't see as it dey happen, it be like say the APC want do wuru for for Abia State election where one come, and the Labour Party where they don't start now, they open their eyes. But however, I may share the video, drop your own opinion for inside comment section.